haul video from the flea market, and also a couple of things that my sister-in-law sent. I have some more, like a whole box of clothing that I haven't really sorted yet, so maybe I'll do that in a separate video, but there were just a few pieces of jewelry in the box also, so I'll show you those. And I had a really good jewelry day at the flea market for the first time in a long time. I found a whole lot of jewelry. I totally ran out of money. It was wonderful. That hasn't happened in a long time. So let me get started. I'll show you the ones my sister-in-law sent me first. This is a Trifari necklace, probably a 1960s. It is missing a couple of stones, but I have them. She included them in a baggie, so I will be able to fix that, and it's a really pretty piece. I don't know, probably, I don't know what I'll charge for that. I don't know. I need to kind of update my intel on what these Trifari pieces sell for. They're very nice, but they're also fairly common, so I don't know. This is a nice pearl. It's also missing one pearl, but I have a lot of replacement pearls, so that shouldn't be a problem. So those two, one pair of Trifari enamel earrings. These are probably from the 1980s. And a really pretty vibrant blue art glass bead necklace. And that is it for my sister's jewelry. My sister-in-law's, I mean. Okay, so let me show you what I got at the flea market. Got a few rings. This is a citrine, and I think that those clear stones, this is really filthy, but I think that the clear stones are probably white topaz. And I paid $10 for that. It is sterling silver. And then this is sterling silver, amethyst, marcasite, and I'm not sure what the pink stones are. Maybe pink topaz? I'll have to look into that. But that one was $10 also. And I just really thought this was a pretty, very old looking piece. I believe that the pearl is a real pearl, well, cultured pearl, but a real pearl. And I paid, this is sterling silver. It's marked sterling. And I think that's probably a 1930s piece. And I paid 10 for that. Paid 10 for this little cross. I love these kind of little crosses. It's probably, well, it's not marked Mexico, so it might be Native American, but it has this kind of a southwestern look to it. And it's amethyst, and that center stone might be a moonstone. Not sure. And sterling silver, if I didn't say that. And that was $10. And then this piece I just love. Shell jewelry is not normally all that desirable, but I like it personally, and I thought this was a beautiful shell, and it's done in sterling silver with these little rope stripes. Just a nice piece of work, and that was $10 also. And I got these earrings, which are some Egyptian revival, the pharaoh heads. I am not sure of the age of these. I'm kind of hoping they might be 1960s. They could be a little later, but I'm hoping. See if I can find any that are like them, see if I can document who made them or anything. But these were on a $2 table, and I went to pay, and I didn't have any small bills. All I had was a 20, and the lady was like, oh, just take them, just take them. So I did. So I got these for free. And then these was toward the end of the day, and I only had a few dollars in my pocket, but I just thought I would ask how much they were. And these are sterling silver, and I'm pretty sure those are opals. And the guy said $7. I couldn't get my money out of my pocket fast enough. So, yeah, $7 for those. And they're in a nice little box that says Diamond Gallery. I usually pick these up when I see them. They're made in India. They call them beggar beads, which is probably not a politically correct thing to say anymore. So I'll have to think of something else to call them. But they're just a lot of real stone, polished stone beads. And if I can pick them up for $5 or less, I buy them. And I can usually sell them for, I think, around 18 to 20 something. I forget. It's been a while since I sold one. So those were 5. And then this is a little can of teal or spun silver, tiny little purse. I have bought one of these once before. I think that it was meant to hang on a chatelaine, maybe. It's too small to be a bracelet. Not really sure. And I also don't really know if this is sterling silver. I haven't tested it yet. I suspect it might be. I kind of did a little surreptitious rubbing with my finger while I was at the shop, and I was able to bring up a little bit of a shine, but not sure. But I asked how much it was, and he said 15, and I was like, no way, not unless I know it's silver. So, and I put it down, and he said 10, and I said I was really thinking more like 5. And he said, well, why don't you see if there's anything else you want, and maybe if you buy a few other things, we can work on the price. And I said, okay. So I looked around, and I did find some cool things that I wanted. Well, one was this ginormous Aurora Borealis brooch. And I really wanted you to see the back, because the back is just beautiful. You can tell it's an older piece and really nicely made. And then this is a coordinating piece, although I don't think that they actually started life as a set, but they would look nice. Well, I don't know, it might be a little much to have all that. But anyway, I did pick this up, and this is actually a Weiss piece. So I think the mark is right here. Yep, it's right there. And so I showed him those 2 pieces, and he said, how about 20 for all 3 pieces? So I snapped that up. So that wasn't too bad. And then I got this, this is a standing Liberty quarter that's been turned into a pendant. And standing Liberty quarters were made, I'm not sure of the years. This one is a 1929, which if it were in good condition, the quarter would be worth something because it's a good year, but it's in fact very worn and also has been curved. So I don't think it has any value as a coin, but it is 80% silver, made into a cute little pendant, and it was $5, and there were 2 of them, so I got 2 for 10. And also from the same dealer, which is a guy who I'd love to buy from, but he always gives me a hard time. But anyway, he gave me, where's the front? He gave me this tiny little locket for free. Just really tiny. Okay, and then I got 10 pieces from this one lady, and I paid $80 for the 10 pieces. So it's roughly $8 a piece, but some are worth a little more than others. This one in particular is really the most valuable one. This is a Victorian. Could be gold. I think it's gold plated is what it is. But it's a true 1800s Victorian piece with a little coral stone at the center. And you can tell it's a really old one because it has the C clasp, and it also has a tube hinge, which I think, I haven't looked this up lately, but I think that means before 1900, just in general. And there's some more Victorian pieces here. This is another one. This is mourning jewelry, and I think this very well could be carved jet. Not 100% sure, but it could be. And this also has a C-clasp and a tube hinge. And then this is another Victorian piece. This also could be carved jet. It's a mourning piece. And you can see the back has the tube hinge, the C-clasp, the stem that comes out way far beyond the edge of the brooch is another indication of it being Victorian. And then yet another mourning piece. This one is not a tube hinge. This has a smaller and more narrow hinge this way, so probably a little later, could be early 1900s, but it does have a C-clasp. And it's, I think it's just brass. A lot of these are brass. What else we got? Okay, then we have some other pieces that are a little bit, I'm not sure what this is. This has a C-clasp. I think this may be kind of an Edwardian piece. It is a reverse carved glass and a brass frame. And then this one is sterling silver. And she told me this stone, this purple stone, was, oh God, I wish I could remember now. I think she said it was chrysoprase. I'll look it up hopefully before I edit the video. Maybe I can tell you for sure. But it's sterling silver and marcasites and this beautiful stone. And then these two are just like very early scatter pins. I'm not sure of the age on these. These have C-clasps. They have kind of a, I think like a machine etched edge. These might be silver. They're not marked, but they look kind of silver to me. I haven't tested them. Oops. And then this is a little brooch that's marked crements. It's got the tiniest mark. It's on the stem of the pin. And crements does really good plating, so this is probably a gold-plated piece. And it's just very nicely done. That's probably more like a 1930s, maybe. And then we have a Morpho butterfly wing pendant. This probably dates from the 1950s. I know this kind of jewelry was made earlier. It was made, as early as the early 1900s, but this is not a super complicated looking piece, so I think it's later. Not sure. I have to do a little more research on that. And then the last piece, I was just fascinated by, and I had to have it. It is a little brooch that's in the shape of a can opener with these two little tiny baby tin cans. And it is an advertising piece for the American Can Company. And it has all on these labels, on these cans, it's all about how great canned food is, how healthy it is, and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure this dates from the 1930s. Kind of a Depression era jewelry. Just how interesting that is. And I can't wait to do more research on it. Okay, so those were my 10 pieces for $80. And I got this Elgin pocket watch for $15. Might have overpaid for that because I don't think I'm going to be able to get it running. And I think it also has a plastic crystal and nothing too inspiring in terms of engraving, although the edge is engraved. And this is probably an early 20th century pocket watch. I don't know about that. This one, I was kind of trying to put a lot together, and I included this in the lot. I looked at the back of that and just was positive it said sterling. When I got it home, it actually says Czechoslovakia, and it's not sterling at all. So I paid $10 for this, and it's brass. So, I can get more than my money back for it. Probably if I clean it up, put a chain on it, and it's old. It's probably 1930s Czechoslovakia. Yeah, $10 each. But what else was in that? Oh, also in that lot was this ring, which I only paid $5 for, and this is sterling silver and probably turquoise and onyx, and it's probably, oh yeah, I'd say this is definitely a Native American piece, and it is sterling silver. If I didn't say that already, it's not marked, but it is. And so that's kind of a cool piece. It's pretty little. It's a pretty small ring. But the piece that I really wanted was this. And this is, I'm reasonably certain this is a Victorian belt buckle with an embossed bunny rabbit on it. And I think that it's rose gold plated brass, a little heart. It's got some marks on the inside, but I just can't decipher them. They look like hallmarks, but then it's like you think you should be able to decipher them, but you can't. I don't know. So I don't know what it is. But I just fell in love with that little bunny rabbit. Thought he was so cute. So I ended up paying, I think, $15 for the bunny rabbit. Let's see, getting down to the end of the jewelry, I bought this Brutalist sterling silver ring for $10, and it's an artisan-made piece. It is signed, made in Israel. PZ, I think, 925. The inside of it feels like butter. It's so smooth. It's just really nicely made. And I'm finding that the Brutalist jewelry seems to sell pretty well. So it'll be okay. Okay, so that's the end of the jewelry. This is kind of a jewelry related piece, sort of. It's a sterling silver pull box with St. Christopher on it. Oops. There's what it looks like open. And I paid, I don't remember what I paid for this. It was maybe 15, maybe 20. Okay, I got this frame for $8, and I was just very captivated by the young woman in this picture because she's smiling, and so few portraits from that era have smiling people in it. I think people were just starting to smile for pictures in this era because the shutter speeds had quickened a little bit, so they didn't have to be still for quite so long like they did in Victorian. That's probably a 1920s to 1930s era. And these swing frames, I know they used to be extremely desirable, and I haven't seen them for sale recently. This is the first one I've seen in a long time that was in good shape and reasonably priced. So I really haven't done any research on that. Got an art glass paperweight. This one is called a scrambled latticino. That's where they have all these kind of ribbons in this big tangle. And it's very much a Murano style, but it's not, doesn't have a sticker on it, and it's not signed or anything. But I thought it was a very nice one. I paid $13 for that. The last one of these I had, I think I sold for about $55. I don't know if that one may have been a bit larger than this one. Not sure. And then this, it's a very Hollywood Regency style wall plaque. It dates from the mid-century, probably the maybe 1940s. It is cast iron with a gold color on it to make it look like brass. And there's what the back looks like. And the back says genuine Limoges something, made in France, Sun God Art Studios, New York. It has a style number. And this sort of, do they call this Parian ware, or what do they call this? It looks like the, I'm blanking. Wedgwood. It looks like that Wedgwood stuff that comes out of England. But it's got the little classical figures on it. And anyway, I paid, I think $5 for that. And I saw a couple of others that were priced fairly high, like surprisingly high, so I need to do some more research. And I got this glass chicken. He is an anchor hocking. You probably won't be able to see that, but there is a little anchor hocking logo. I thought this was a sure winner, but there's tons of them out there, and they don't sell for very much. But it's so cute. I paid $4 for it. Did I say that? Okay, and let's see. I have one more piece, if I can get it, which is about another box. It's got like iron decorations on it, and that's what it looks like on the inside. It is missing its hasps. It had two hasps on the front that are missing, and it has a broken corner, and that looks like a fresh break. I wonder if I did it. God, I hope not. That would be a bummer. But it doesn't look too bad from the top. Anyway, I paid $8 for that, and I don't know if it's a Bible box or a document box or what it is, but anyway, you know me and boxes. I love boxes. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. These items are, or soon will be, for sale in my Etsy shop at vintagedazz.etsy.com. I will put a link below and also a link to my eBay merchandise, which I sell under Kara Linux. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye.